I can't wait till this trend dies. Here we have The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Part 1 of the finale of the Hunger Games trilogy, which rant about that later. But basically, after the quarter quell in Catching Fire, Katniss Everdeen finds herself in an underground base in District 13, which is basically the base of the rebellion against the Capitol. She decides to become their Mockingjay, their sign of resistance, as she and a couple of other members of the rebellion go around each of the districts that the Capitol has destroyed and bring out messages with Katniss as their spokesperson, pretty much, to ignite a rebellion within all the districts and then go attack the Capitol, which is going to happen in the next part. Now, Catching Fire was one of my favorite movies of last year, mainly because last year was kind of a mediocre year for movies, but still really great movie. It was pretty much the Empire Strikes Back of that series. It ended with okay, I'm ready for the next part. Let's finish this series. And then, well, you know what? We'll save that. Let's get into what's good about the movie. First of all, it still has great performances from all of its actors. Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, I think that's how you say his name. The late Philip Seymour Hoffman, which, watching him in this movie, I'm still in shock that he died earlier this year. It's like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, to see this great actor on screen and having to remind yourself that he's no longer with us. But he still does a good job regardless. You have new cast members here. You have Julianne Moore as the leader of this resistance. You have Natalie Dormer as a sort of mercenary. It's pretty much the acting from everyone is really good. And the sense of dread that was in Catching Fire is still here. There's some emotional moments. It's that sense of things are really not going well for the good guys. This is their chance to stand up, fight back, and win. And that I really liked. So the tone of the movie, the acting, and the direction is really good. Now, in terms of the stuff I wasn't so crazy about, this is the finale of the movie. People have told me that the book, Mockingjay, is very rushed, so it was smart for them to split into two, but I can only judge it based on a movie standard, so it looks like I don't know if it can work. It's poorly paced. It could get boring a lot of the time. The movie is 2 hours and 3 minutes, so I feel like with proper pacing, this could have been a 3-hour long movie. I mean, Return of the King got away with being 3.5 hours long. I think Hunger Games could have done that also, especially when you consider that all the books are the same size. There's no drastic change in the size of the books like there was with Harry Potter, but still, you could have made this just one condensed trilogy. Now, the only reason that the studio even decided to split this up into two, and it's mainly Lionsgate that's encouraging this trend, is to make some more money. Lionsgate did it with Twilight. Twilight was Summit, but that's a Lionsgate company. They're doing it with Divergent. I'm so sick of this trend of splitting one story into two unless it's necessary, like with Harry Potter. But for this, maybe it will be like a Harry Potter, where the second part comes out and it's okay, I can now just blend this all into one movie, which I did that with Harry Potter. When Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out, I wasn't so sure about it. Then when Part 2 came out, I was okay, that works. So, but this movie is kind of a disappointment. In fact, it's slowly fading from memory as I talk about it, so I'll wrap it up. Really good acting, great direction and tone, tension at points, but it's poorly paced. It's not all that exciting. And this is pretty much the equivalent of cutting Return of the Jedi in two. I'm not going to say how the movie exactly ends, but it's like the equivalent of stopping Return of the Jedi when Luke surrenders himself to Darth Vader and is sent up to the second Death Star. It just feels like it ends abruptly, and then we have to wait a year to see the finale. But, I mean, it's a disappointment in the sense that I loved Catching Fire, and this just felt underwhelming by comparison. But we still have another movie to go, so for this, I'm going to say it's good, but not great. I think it's something you should definitely see, but see it where you don't have to pay like full admission for it, because it's not very exciting. And that's my review for The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie, subscribe to my channel for more stuff in the future. You can check out my video blog channel, AlexG462. You can find links to my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts on this YouTube page. Tumblr is used to post Instagram pictures, so you can check that out if you want. Also check me out at letterboxd.com under the name Mr. Robinson, as well as my written reviews on Geeked Out Nation. Share me with your friends and tell them about me, and this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. See you guys later.